It was once said that Negroes are not supposed to be numerous in the United States of America. This was stated back in the 1800s. And most of the conversations we have today about the 1800s when it comes to Black Americans is not about the millionaires that lived back then. Instead, it's about slavery, discrimination, and the migrations that were going on from the South to the West to the North, everywhere. Well, I'm getting ready to tell y'all about somebody that you might not know about. His name is Charles Porter Grove. He's a Black American millionaire, and he has a controversial story. I just wrote about him on blackentrepreneur.history.com. The title is Charles Porter Grove, owner of Montana and Illinois Gold Mining Company and leader of the dreamed Grove City, Montana. So Charles P. Grove was born enslaved, but after the Civil War, he migrated. He relocated to the West. From here, things get wild. So I'm going to try to keep this short. He became a millionaire. Okay, so peep this. So he did lay claim to a lot of mines, okay? And this is all proven. It's all in the paper. His name is on boom, boom, mine, okay? But because he was a Black American man and he didn't dress really well, people always called him out saying, "You're a liar. You aren't a millionaire." He was a millionaire. He ended up in Kentucky real quick, right? Selling stock for his company, which he was trying to build a Black American Mecca, okay? You heard that right. Grove City, he was trying to build. He was the leader, in fact, of Grove City, the dream he had, so that Black people can get from up under oppression and come live in Grove City. That was his goal. So while he was in Kentucky, a barber was like, "You aren't rich. You aren't a millionaire. Look at that holy hat you have on. Why are you dressed in these rags? You aren't rich. You're lying." So Charles Grove was a medium-sized, compact, really, really dark-skinned Black man. And even though this drawing doesn't show it, the paper reads he was black as the ace of spades. And he was surely proud of it. What he hated, though, was how people discounted him for that. So while he was in Kentucky, he was like, "Let me go find me some threads real quick so I could show them exactly how much money I'm made of," right? So not only did he go out and get him the perfect suit, but he laced that bad boy with diamonds too. Then he went out and actually selected that day the woman that he wanted to marry, and she married him that day. And he dressed her in red corded silk and diamond ornaments. He even hired a 4-horse barouche, y'all, and he decorated that sucker with American flags all over. Then he rode through the main streets of town with a full brass band. And it wasn't just any old brass band. It was a Black American brass band. Now, the reception he had was at his boarding house, right? And it was illuminated from the cellar to the attic, while a Greek fire burned constantly from an upper window that gave a cardinal glow to the squares around. There was nothing ever seen like that in Louisville, Kentucky. They quoted it as being out of sight. But he wasn't done yet. To top it off, he had his wife with him, and he hired a white man as his secretary and legal advisor. Yeah. And then he said he was only going to sell shares at $5 a share to Black people. That's it. He was not selling it to white people at all. He means to have his company and the stockholders made up of the colored 400. He was so serious about having Grove City become Grove City, Afro-American owned and operated. Nobody else. So now this is when all the rumors started happening about him. A lot of people were talking about he's a scam artist, blah, blah, blah. They were convincing Black people, trying to convince a lot more Black people that he was a scammer. Oh, it was all over the papers. He's a scam artist. However, there was a headline out of the Courier Journal of 1893 that stated, "Believe in Grove City. The Committee of Investigation report that Charles Grove is all right. Dr. W.R. Arthur endorses the man the Montana papers denounced as an ex-convict." And it was proven that he was the president of the Montana and Illinois Gold Mining Company. Booyah! No matter what was proven, everybody was saying they weren't getting the money, blah, blah, blah. This wasn't happening, blah, blah, blah. But people who had moved to the area were actually saying, "Yo, this is real." They wrote letters and signed it and sent it into the paper saying this is real. They bought shares, they got their lot, and in return, they're actually mining, trying to find this gold. So they were getting paid, right? Right, but something happened. There was the panic of 1893 that happened. Everything started shutting down. Fear was everywhere. The bank started shutting down. Everybody started losing everything. Debt increased. It was a massive headache for Mr. Charles Grove. Even the mines were closing. The mines. That's his bread and butter. So all the people who followed him out there, everybody who was doing something, they'd already started building churches and all kind of stuff right out there, buildings and everything, right? Everything started to shut down, right? This led Mr. Charles Grove into a depression, okay? Then he got ill, okay? Then he had to be put in the hospital. So he was away from his wife and his children, who he supported, okay? So this was devastating. His wife was able to support her and the children. He ended up leaving, taking himself out of the hospital because he could not give up, okay? So he went to the house and he basically demanded money from his wife. And he was like, I'm going out here and I'm going down into the mines and I'm going to find this gold that I know is there. He went down to his cabin. He never found it, right? He got injured. They had to go get him, okay? And he went broke. He and his wife eventually got a divorce. She was able to claim her divorce. Back in the 1800s, it was hard for women to do that. She got a divorce from him. He went back down to his mines, basically. And that's where he stayed. Y'all, he ended up freezing to death at the age of 71. But it gets worse. Yeah, you're saying, how could it get worse? Well, it did. The area where he was digging, it was the right area. The exact spot where he had laid his claim was found to be one of the richest gold camps in the state. You can't even make this up. So some of y'all are probably wondering, how in the world did a former slave get all this money to own mines and lay claim to them, right? Word is, he took some gold that he found when he first got to the state, and he took it to some experts, and they were white. Now, of course, they thought this man was dumb, right? So they said, well, where'd you get this from? He said, I got it down there off Johnny's Gulch. That's where he got it from. So they went down there and checked it out. They saw that it hadn't already been dug all up. So they came back and told him, let's go ahead and have some lunch, or let's have some dinner. Okay, so they all sat down. One thing about Charles Grove, he didn't trust nor did he like white people. He was formerly enslaved. And it's reported that he said, Lord, I never eat at the table with white folks. And he didn't. Now, here's where the story gets tricky. Word is that when the white men were sitting down eating, he went back and he salted the gold, basically making them more valuable than what they actually were. And when the white men got back, they were tripping at how much the gold was worth, right? So they literally locked Grove away until they could get the contract, and they made him sign it. They didn't make him sign it. They were like rushing him to sign it so that they can give him his money and they could have the mine, or at least that area to mine in. Well, Mr. Grove signed it, but the white man never found any gold, nor did Grove. He used that money to fund Grove City, or what would have been Grove City. So was he a scam artist? No, because he was right about where the gold was. It's just that everybody wanted the now money. They wanted it now. He was right. The place is worth a lot of money now. So he didn't purposely set out to scam anybody. He just didn't like white people. As a formerly enslaved, he had reason. And he definitely wasn't trying to scam black people, because he was just trying to build them a place where they could live free of oppression. In the end, though, everything went up in smoke. And that's the story of Mr. Charles P. Grove. He went from millionaire to broke, trying to help his people. And in the middle of it all, was called a scam artist and a fake the whole time.